What's going on, guys? Today I want to do a comparison between the Sennheiser GSP 500 and the Sennheiser Game One. Both of these are gaming headsets with open back designs that I teased a little bit in my last headset review, where I looked at two wireless gaming headsets and ultimately said I couldn't go with either of those because these Sennheisers are just so awesome. So let's go ahead and dive in and just see why I think that. So right off the bat, like I said, they're open backs. The GSP 500s I have here in front of me, and you can see that grill there at the top of the ear cup. It is on both sides, just hard to see on the other side with the mic. That lets sound in and sound out. That's what actually makes these an open back headset. The Game Ones I don't have in front of me. Since I don't get stuff sent to me for free, I had to buy both of these and I could only keep one, so I sent back the Game Ones. But here on the side, what the ear cup looks like is it just has like horizontal plastic grills across the side of the ear cup, but they both accomplish the same thing. So what the open back design allows for is it creates a bigger soundstage. That's the buzzword or buzz phrase, I guess, that you'll hear thrown around a lot when talking about open back headsets and headphones. Now what the soundstage means is it just makes you feel like you're in the game, and I can't stress how awesome that is. I can't stress that enough. It literally makes you feel immersed in the game, just adds an extra level of immersion. So if you play something like The Witcher 3, or if you're like me and you're really excited for Red Dead Redemption to come out later this year, or something like The Last of Us, that extra level of immersion is going to be awesome. Now if you play a lot of first-person shooters, which despite liking those games is primarily what I play, it also helps with spatial awareness and hearing footsteps and gunshots. I've used them both extensively in CSGO. Both of them are awesome, despite being stereo headsets. So they don't have simulated 7.1 right out of the box, but because the open back design creates that big soundstage, you can really pick up on directional cues surprisingly well. So I was surprised to have even better, I guess, awareness of where my enemies were in CSGO versus my old headset, which was a HyperX Cloud 2. So that's what open back does in a nutshell. Bigger soundstage, more immersion. Now, the most important thing about both of these is probably the price. So the GSP 500s, which is the one again here in front of me, they come in at $230, whether you go on Amazon or to Sennheiser directly. And the Game Ones are no longer available on Sennheiser directly, so you have to go to Amazon. They're about $140, $145. Last time I checked, they were $143. That's an absolute steal. So if you're really locked in that price point, you got to be below $150, go with the Game Ones. You can turn this video off now. Just go with them and you won't regret it. So moving into what really made me go with the GSP 500s, the comfort. So on the Game Ones, you can obviously adjust the height on the sides, but on the GSP 500 you get that, but you also get this little top part. Now what this is the clamping force. And I've got a pretty small head, but clamping force I've got there to a minimum. It really helps it sit on your head well. They sit on my head pretty well. They don't clamp too hard. And like I said, the Game Ones don't let you control the clamping force. Now, what ended up being the deal breaker for me, let me grab these and show you guys what they look like. I wear some Gunner optics. So I don't usually wear glasses, I do wear gaming glasses. Now to try and let you guys see how thick the frame is, I don't know if that's thick for glasses or not. Like I said, I don't normally wear glasses, but I do wear these when I game. And what happened when I was wearing them is the Game Ones were pushing right against my temple. They were pushing on the glasses right against my temple. It was really uncomfortable. Again, previously I had a HyperX Cloud 2, and I never had that issue, and I don't have it here on the GSP 500s, so that really sealed the deal for me. Now, that's not to say that the Game Ones are uncomfortable. They're not by any means. The pressure and the pain that I felt on my temple went away after a few minutes, but money wasn't really an issue. The price difference wasn't for me, so I went ahead and went with the GSP 500s. Now, as far as the sound goes and sound difference between them, and this is where they start getting really interesting. The Game Ones sounded great right out of the box. Didn't have to touch them, didn't feel the need to amplify them, nothing. They were solid. So if you're playing on console, if you're on an Xbox or a PlayStation, my recommendation would be to go with the Game One for that reason alone. Because I mean, when you think about it, you're powering the headset just off of your controller, because the headset's not wireless. So it's going to take, a decent amount of power to really push the GSP 500s the way they need to be pushed, in my opinion. So I would just go with the Game Ones. Now the volume knob on the side, they both have it there on the right side. Again, pertaining to volume, it controls it independently of your system volume if you're on PC. I love that feature. If you don't, whatever, we can still be friends. Just something to be aware of. Now with the with the GSP 500s on PC, I had this knob cranked to the max always, and I had my system volume up around 100%, and I really don't like doing that. Now they were loud enough, but I don't like feeling like I'm at the limit, and I can't go any farther than that if I want more sound. So that was just a big no-no for me. Now, what I will say, because I did keep these, if the price isn't really an issue for you, if you're okay with the 230 over the 150, and or you already have an amp or DAC, I guess an amp really, or you're planning on buying one down the road, I would go with the GSP 500s. I don't have it in the shot here, but I do have a GSX 1000. It's the DAC amp combo from Sennheiser. Retails for about 200 bucks. I bought it used on eBay for about 140 again, because I don't get sent anything for free. I got to buy it myself, and it does a phenomenal job with the GSP 500s. It does with the Game Ones too. I just didn't really think they need it. Now, what that GSX 1000 also provides is a bunch of different presets. So there's a preset for music. There's a preset for gaming, and what that does, it just strips out all the bass to try and amplify footsteps, or does amplify footsteps. There's a 7.1 that you can enable, a virtual 7.1 surround you can enable that doesn't sound like crap, and a lot of them do, and if you disagree or you don't think they sound like crap, once you try out the 7.1 on the GSX 1000, especially coupled with an open back headset, you'll be a believer. You'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, there's a bunch of different presets you can go into on that. I'm not trying to hit on that too heavily. Just I did end up getting one on eBay, like I said, used. Save a few bucks if you're in the same boat as I was and you're trying to save a little bit of money. But if you're going to spring for an amp, doesn't have to be the Sennheiser, it can be any amp, then I'd go ahead and go for the GSP 500s, because once you power them right, they sound phenomenal. As far as the mic, you'll probably notice I haven't really talked about the mic at all. The mic on both of them is the same. I'll try to get this click in the shot. When you flip it up, it auto mutes. Flip it down, and it enables it. The mic's pretty much the same. If you guys haven't heard of Sennheiser, they make some phenomenal sound equipment, particularly their mics. I help out with AV at my church. All the mics that we have are Sennheiser. Next time you go to a concert, if you pay attention to the mics they're using, if they're not using a wireless headset mic, chances are pretty high it's going to be Sennheiser. Might be Shure too. They make some great stuff, but what I'm trying to say is Sennheiser mics are awesome. If you watch any of my videos where I'm doing a screen capture, like a recording of what's on my computer screen, the mic I'm using is this. I've got this headset on, I'm using this mic. My voice sounds pretty accurate in my opinion. The one knock I'll give to the GSX 1000, with the Game One and the GSP 500s, once you plug that in the GSX 1000, it sounds like garbage. It just doesn't sound good at all. It makes it sound like a HyperX headset, I guess, is what I would compare it to. I'm not trying to bash them at all. My Cloud 2s last me for 4 years. They were a great headset, just gives you that stereotypical, gaming headset sound versus something that sounds a lot more expensive than it really is. So, to try and recap this and wrap it all up, the GSP 500s, if you wear glasses or gaming glasses, or you want to get an amp or DAC, or you already have one, particularly the GSX 1000, because that thing's awesome, go with the GSP 500s. Now, if you're on console or you're trying to save some money, go with the Game Ones. They're easier to power, so if you're on console, you're not going to run into any issues where you feel like you're at the limit sound-wise. And like I said, they're a phenomenal gaming headset. The Game Ones are what I put on when I was trying out the HyperX flights, HyperX Cloud flights, and the Arctis 7, and the Game Ones just smoked both of those. And then, of course, shortly after I bought them, Sennheiser rolled these out, and I thought, you know what, it's basically the new variant of the Game One. I'll give it a shot and see how it is, and I loved it. Now, the last bit of advice, where you're going to buy them. If you go for the GSP 500s, get it from Sennheiser directly. You probably saw this where I was trying to prop it up and make the headphones look a little bit better in the shot. This is actually a headphone mount. So this clamps on your desk just like that. Nice little Sennheiser logo. Nice and black and white, looking, you know, professional, not like a gaming headset, which doesn't really match the Optimus Prime look or whatever the heck they were going for here. But hey, it is what it is. The headset is pretty thick though, so fits on there pretty nice. Actually fits it, you know. According to their website, this is usually about 30 bucks. They throw it in for free. You just have to wait an extra day on shipping versus Amazon. It's like 3 days versus 2 on Amazon. And the Game Ones, unless you've got a local shop or website that you know of, you're gonna have to go to Amazon for those. But about 140 bucks, somewhere between that and 150 is what I've seen them go for. So hopefully that helped you guys out with your decision. Hopefully it helps you, you know, understand why I picked both of these, or either of these really, over the two wireless options, even though the Arctis 7 and the Cloud Flights are very good, very popular headsets. You owe it to yourself to at least check one of these out. I mean, you figure you got some time to return it if you don't like it. I wouldn't recommend buying it just to try it out with the intention of sending it back, but if you're in the market for a new headset and you want something open back and you think that these sound good, go for them. I don't think you'll regret it. If there's anything I missed, you got any questions, just leave it in the comments. I typically respond to all the comments relatively quickly as soon as I see the email coming on my phone. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.